Hello, this is DeMarco and Leone do sports here on WICR. This week, we're going to be talking about the craziness of Mexico versus USA, the trade deadline for the NHL. Spring training is back and in full swing. And as well as that, we got some Iona basketball news. And as well, we have some NFL trade news, some huge deals going down in the NFL. So, Mike, take it away.
Okay, so let's just first talk about the local scores in the NHL. The New York Islanders are 28, 25, and 9, sixth in the Metro Division. They've been doing really well recently, which is kind of heartbreaking. The New York Rangers are 40, 19, and 5 in the third in the Metro Division, and the New Jersey Devils are 23, 36, and 5 in the eighth Metro Division. In the NBA, the New York Knicks are 31 and 24 in the 11th in the East Conference, and the Brooklyn Nets are 38, 35 in the 8th in the Eastern Conference.
All right.
Alrighty. So let's just first talk about Iona basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a hard game to watch. Well, it wasn't a hard game to watch, but it was just really annoying to see. I don't know if you watched the game or not, Chris, but
Which one?
the Iona versus UF game.
I did not.
But me and my family watched it, and we were literally leading basically the whole game, except the last like 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And then UF came back and decided to win. So we basically were dominating the whole game. We played in the NIT. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but we played in the NIT. Sadly, UF won 79-74 against our Iona Gales. Our top scores for that game were Nelly Jr. Joseph with 18 points, 0 assists, and 12 rebounds. Dylan Van Eyck, 15 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Tyson Jolly, 15 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. And Elijah Joyner, 13 points, 1 assist, and 7 rebounds. So in the half, Iona was leading 42-35, if you can believe it or not. But however, the thing is that Iona's problem is that they don't have depth as UF did. Obviously, Elijah Joyner, Nelly, Dylan, and all of our stars basically were playing the whole game. So at the end, they were all tired. Iona had 46% field goals. The same thing with UF. Iona had 30% of 3-pointers, 29.2% for the UF. So they were basically even matched. But what killed us was the free throws. Iona went for 10 for 18 or 55.6%. And UF went for 12 and 16 for 75%.
Mm-hmm.
So all those 8 points are a huge difference in that game. We basically would have won that game if we made all our free throws.
Yeah.
If the score stayed the same with UF.
And that's something I also noticed with the playoff game against Ryder was that our free throws sucked. It was horrible. And I guess we still have a problem with that in this game too. I didn't watch this game. I was away when this game happened. But yeah, that's a problem we had. Particularly in games that I watched, it seemed like we had a problem with that. So
yeah, definitely. It's you can't win games if you don't make all your free throws. It's basically a free shot on the free throw line. So
literally, yeah.
We had that big problem the whole year. It's not only like this last game, but we had that big problem the whole year. And Rick Pitino was even saying you can't win games unless you make all your free throws.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between, let's say, great teams and good teams, I would say. As you can see, UF only missed 4 free throws.
Yeah.
So, and the difference between ours, we missed 8. And basically we were shooting 50% from free throw line. That's that can't be. If we're playing top teams like UF, we have to make all of our free throw shots. We just can't just make one or none, you know?
Yeah. And everybody was saying, oh, we're gonna go far in the tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
Not the NIT, the
MAC tournament.
Yeah. And then, we were going to go on to March Madness. it just wasn't our year.
It really
And you know, I we all thought very highly of them, and as we should. We were first in our conference. What were we, like 25 and like 5 or something
something like
crazy?
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is, and you hope for the best for next year, which I think we will go far next year. Maybe this year, will give us more time to practice in the off season, and then next year, come whenever basketball starts, I think it's October. We'll be back in full shape, hopefully. So.
Exactly. Like my father said, any team can beat any other team in any given day. So it's just like even what's it called? In March Madness, as we're seeing recently that both Gonzaga and Arizona lost their team, their
And
games.
Baylor too, the
And
defending
Baylor
champion.
did. Yeah, exactly. So it's really shocking to see that all these good teams are basically getting upsetted, But going back to the Iona game on the first game of the MAC tournament, it seemed like Iona was trying to get into like a rhythm, but Ryder just kept coming and, let's
It
say,
wasn't
destroying their
just that.
confidence.
I think that our team had an overconfidence problem against Ryder, and that we thought, we can easily beat Ryder. Well,
Yeah, exactly. Like it was one of those things that, like, yeah, we beat them both home and away, but our away record was a lot worse than our home record. We were
yeah.
undefeated at home. If we played them at home, we definitely would have won that game. But it's the fact that you have to play the same either home or away. Like you can't just switch let's say you're at the switch and be like, oh, I'm just gonna play good at home now.
Yeah.
Like I understand when the other team has full home field advantage, they get, let's say, that urgency from the home team, but you have to play like that every single day. Like look at let's say the pros, they can't just decide when they can play good. If they play bad, they get traded or they lose their contract. So, but as a reminder, you guys can comment. Oh, we actually have 2 comments.
Go right ahead.
So the first comment is, what happened to the Gales basketball team? So, like we mentioned before, I think it was two things. First, I think it was the depth that, based on the UF game, the depth really killed us because Nelly, Dylan, and Tyson and Elijah, our top 4, basically played the whole game. And that's hard for them personally because you just can't rely on them personally. And then also I think the discipline of the free throws, like we said before. Iona missed what's it called? It's 8 free throws, and those 8 points are the difference between winning and losing.
Yep.
So that's what my standpoint is. What do you think?
I think the 3. I keep saying 3 for oh my. All right. I think the free throws was a problem. That was always a problem all season. I think what you said about the team playing different away than home is a problem. I think that they have a confidence problem on the road. And that's something that a lot of sports players, both in college and in pro sports, have an issue with. Obviously, there are teams that will play equally as good home and away. Iona simply does not have that. So I think if they're able to build the confidence to play the same way away from this campus, I think we will see better success. So
yeah, I definitely agree. And also with the recruiting that Rick Pitino is going to do this offseason, because Dylan, Tyson, and Elijah are gone after this year because all 3 of them are graduate students.
Yes.
So we're not going to have them this next season. So, and there's a couple more questions.
Go right ahead.
There's a rumor that Rick Pitino will leave.
Nope.
Is that true? I highly doubt it. We covered that a couple weeks ago that there was a rumor that Maryland wanted to recruit Rick Pitino as a head coach, but Rick Pitino is set for this college. He wants to stay in New York, and he wants to improve Iona.
Yeah, he wants to stay here. because it's close to home. He
Mhm.
grew up in my neck of the woods on Long Island,
Mhm.
so it's very close to
Yeah,
home.
exactly.
So
Let's see the next question. What is the prediction on St. Peter's in the Sweet 16?
who are they playing?
Purdue.
Yeah, they'll lose.
Yeah. See, the thing is that it's a bittersweet moment because, like, we would obviously it's great to see that a MAC team is going far into the tournament, but the thing is that it's not Iona.
Yeah,
So, and they're are one of our rivals. So it's great that they're going far, but to be honest, I do want them to lose too.
yeah,
But honestly, based on what we've seen in the previous games, there's been a lot of upsets. So it could possibly Purdue could lose
yeah,
against St. Pete because they beat St. Pete beat Kentucky in the first game,
yeah,
and they were number 2 ranked in the country. So it could be the hit or miss, honestly. Like it could St. Pete could take this I wouldn't say all the way, but pretty close. And the last question is, will St. Pete succeed will St. Pete's success help Iona as our part of the MAC? So I guess
maybe.
I would say, yeah, I would say maybe. So the reason why I would say that is because Iona's looking at St. Pete and it's like, okay, so we know that a MAC team can go far in
Yeah.
the NCAA in March Madness.
Hmm.
So they just need to, like we said before about Iona, how they need to have confidence away. If they play as well as they do at home, we'll go as far as St. Pete's going in the March Madness, I think, in the next couple years.
And I think it will help our ranking when it comes to the NCAA tournament. Because we were ranked last year like number 15, I think.
We were ranked last, yeah.
And St. Pete was also ranked like really low too.
Yeah.
And I think if we were in the same predicament as them right now, I think we'd be ranked higher than them. Obviously, we were right. We were predicted to go 13th. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So I think that if we make it next year,
Mhm.
that will be ranked a little higher.
Yeah,
just because of
exactly.
this.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, if the higher the rank you are, the better the game you're gonna get.
Yep.
Because you're not like gonna play a really hard team like St. Pete did, but St. Pete beat Kentucky, so we can't
Yeah.
really say that that's a big difference. So, do you want to continue on the next topic?
Yeah. All right. So the NHL deadline was this past week. The biggest trade this last week, the biggest trade in my opinion was the Claude Giroux trade. He was the face of the Philadelphia Flyers franchise for over a decade. He played 1,000 games, exactly 1,000 games with the team. He was the number 2 ranked scorer in the entire league. I think in the 2017-18 season, only Connor McDavid was higher than him. And he got traded for a couple prospects to the Florida Panthers, which is personally a team that I'm rooting for to win the Eastern Conference. I think they have a better chance than Tampa right now. Tampa's looking kind of weak. But they did this last year, so who knows? Any Hooser. So the trade deadline for the New York teams, and that's not including the Devils. The Rangers traded Tyler Mott for a 4th round pick from Vancouver. That was a depth move. He's okay. Andrew Kopp and a 6th round pick went to Winnipeg for multiple draft picks. Oh no, sorry, it went to the Rangers. My apologies. The draft picks went to Winnipeg. Andrew Kopp, he's a good I think he's a left winger. He's having a pretty good season. I think it's his career season this year. He's going to be probably a regular team if he stays, which I don't think he will on the Rangers, only because they're going to go into some cap problems after this year with the signing of Zibanejad and the extension of not Andrew, Adam Fox. I can't speak today. And then another depth move, Justin Braun to the Rangers for a 3rd round pick. that's going to Philadelphia. He's an okay defenseman. He's older, so it's another veteran presence on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And then over in my neck of the woods on Long Island, we did nothing. Not shocked. Lou did nothing. We signed extensions for Zach Parise and Cal Clutterbuck, and then the next day, Cal Clutterbuck is out for the season. He's having shoulder surgery.
Oh my gosh.
But I think both the signings were good for veteran depth, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Lamoriello said he's going to try for a massive trade in the offseason for a quote-unquote certain type of defenseman. And I'm going to mention personally that I would like to see Konechny or Philip Forsberg. Konechny's from the Flyers, and Forsberg's from the Predators on the Islanders. Forsberg so far has led the Nashville Predators in scoring this season. And Konechny would probably be traded for Beauvillier. He's having a good season too, but I don't know. But we'll see. But anyway, besides the trade deadline, the New York Islanders have won the last 6 home games. Anders Lee was the third star of the week last week with 7 goals in 4 games. Islanders have won 7 of their last 9 with 2 shutouts from both goaltenders, from the best goaltender in the league, Ilya Sorokin, and Semyon Varlamov, the A1 and B goaltenders for the Islanders.
Yeah.
According to MoneyPuck.com, as of last night, the Islanders have a 2.6%, my apologies, 2.6% chance of making the playoffs. We'll probably miss the playoffs the first time since the 17-18 season.
Yeah.
Now, you want to talk about the Rangers a little bit?
Oh, jeez. The Rangers. I don't know what's happening to the Rangers, to be honest.
I know what they're doing.
What do you think?
I
they're
know
doing?
exactly
What are they doing? What do you think they're going to be doing?
All right. So what they're doing is a little strategy that Tampa's used and what we've used too. And they're trying to lose games in order to see an opponent in the playoffs that they want to see.
Okay.
So,
well, that kind of makes sense because if the season ended right now, they're to play the Penguins.
Yeah, and
so
that's either the Penguins continue not winning a series since they last won a cup, or the Rangers make it to the second round and get destroyed by Carolina.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah.
So the strategy the Islanders used last year, which is what I think the Rangers and Tampa is doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
The last 10 games or so of the Islanders last season were absolutely horrendous. I think they went 2-8 in the last 10.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think was that Barry Trotz wanted to verse Pittsburgh, who won the division last year, the Eastern Division last year, just, because he knows we can beat them, because we can. The Islanders have beaten them twice in the last 3 times we've seen them in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We swept them back in 2019, and then we beat them in 6 games this past time that we saw them last year.
Yeah.
So I think that was a strategy.
Probably, yeah.
So,
but just going back to the Rangers,
go ahead.
In the previous game, the Rangers lost to the Devils. What was it, 7-4?
Yeah, 5 goals in 1 period.
5 goals in one period against Igor Shesterkin, which I think he's the best goaltender.
Ilya Sorokin would never let that happen. Never let that happen.
Okay, but you guys are like what? You guys are what? 6th in the Metro Division.
We had COVID issues, and we had a 13-game road trip at the beginning.
The thing is that if you think that the Islanders are so good, then why are they 6th?
Well, because the beginning half of the season was not that great. We had COVID issues. We had a 13-game road trip.
Because your goaltender isn't the best in the league.
No, it's not. No. It's not him. It was a defense in front of him, because a lot of our defensemen got COVID or got injured. Ryan Pulock was out for nearly half the season.
Yeah.
So, we had issues on the blue line.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but anyway, so the Rangers won 5 of the last 9 games, shut up by Georgiev against Carolina, which was super crazy because not that he never does that, but he's the B goalkeeper, so he's, let's say, not really seen as, let's say, the starting, because he usually lets in a lot of goals. Chris Kreider with 42 goals and 16 assists, leading the team in goals points leader is Panarin with 73 points, dominating assists on team. According to moneypuck.com, Rangers are a 99.95% of chance to making the playoffs with a 1.2% winning the cup, which I guess you could say that, but you never know. We could go farther.
Yeah.
The reasons why is that most players on the team do not have recent experience in the playoffs. Notable exceptions is Chris Kreider, as well as Panarin. Other reasons include both teams in East dominance over others. So, yeah, we have a 99.9% chance of making the playoffs, which we didn't make the last year. So, it's going to be, let's say, great that we do. But hopefully, if we do end up playing the Penguins, it's going to be a very interesting game because the Penguins did beat us last time. So, what was it, like 1-0 or something, wasn't it?
Something like
that at what's that called? At their home field, so or home ice.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting to see. And then I never saw in the way that you were saying about how the Rangers are doing a strategy where they're losing to play a certain team that they want.
Yeah. Tampa's doing that right now. Tampa went from second in the Atlantic Conference. No, sorry, not conference. In the Atlantic Division to fourth just in the past 2 days, 2 games they played. They're now in a wild card spot, which when I saw that, I was shocked. But they've been playing absolutely horrendous recently, apparently.
But if you're doing a strategy, why would you drop all the way down to a spot
so that you
out of the playoffs?
No, they're in a playoff position.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are. They're because Detroit, which is in 5th, is way lower in points.
Okay, so either way, even though they're in the wild card, they're still making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. But
And
hopefully
I think they'd be playing Florida in the first round, I think.
Oh well.
Yeah, which that's
a tough game. That's a really tough game.
Yeah.
So, because the Lightning won the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row, right?
Yep.
So, let's see if they can match the Islanders back in what year was that? What years?
1980, 81, 2, and 3.
Okay. Well,
I don't think they're gonna repeat 3 times.
Well, they're halfway through, so
I just don't see it. The Penguins couldn't do it either.
True.
And then before them, it was Detroit who couldn't do it. And then before them was the Penguins again. So I don't see it happening.
True. But but you want to go to the questions?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Cool. Okay. So what's up with the Yankees and Mets? So actually let's go back to this one. Let's get back to that one after this. So who's going to win the Stanley Cup since it's related to the topic that we're talking about? Who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup?
In the West, I have so I'm gonna do it by conference finals first, and then I'm gonna say who my pick.
Okay.
So originally at the beginning of the season, in the West, I had Vegas and Minnesota going to the final.
Okay.
The conference final in the West, and then the East, I had Tampa and the Islanders again. But obviously, the Islanders kind of fell off. Vegas did too. You can't not talk about that. Vegas had a huge issue with the trade deadline this past week. Keep it quick. The Donov was traded to Anaheim, but his no trade clause included Anaheim, so the trade was revoked by the league.
Oh wow.
Anyway, Vegas fell off the map. So right now in the West, I have the Kings and the Wild in the conference final. And then in the East, I have Florida and get ready for this one. Florida and who's that middle spot right there? So in
Carolina?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah, because Tampa would be versing. Actually, yeah, Tampa versing Carolina right now. So that, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm confusing myself, so I apologize. But So that's what I have for the conference finals.
Mhm.
LA and Minnesota in the West. And
Mhm.
then in the East, I have Florida and Carolina.
Mhm.
And then I can see Florida going to the Stanley Cup final for the first
Mhm.
time since '96. And I see LA going and I see Florida winning.
Florida winning.
Yeah.
I would say that. As of right now, I know that let's say Carolina's basically has the top spot in let's say in points.
Mhm.
So
Now, here's the thing, too. If, let's say, now I'll put this out here, too.
okay,
Boston could go far. They could go far.
because
And
what position are they right now?
they're in a wild card spot.
Okay.
But they could go far if the Lightning get knocked out early.
Oh, really?
And the reason why I'm saying that is because Boston and the Lightning, when they're in the playoffs, usually the Lightning win, which is
Mhm.
why Boston went to the Stanley Cup final in 2019.
Mhm.
So if the Lightning get out early, I would say that Boston has a better chance of going to the Stanley Cup final. That's the little key factor I have there.
Okay.
But I don't see them making the Stanley Cup final this year.
Okay.
But if the Lightning get out early, like in the first, second round, I can see something going
Nice.
on.
So our predictions are
Florida
Florida,
and LA
Florida and LA,
and
or
Minnesota and Boston.
okay. So those are our two predictions that we think are going to happen. So
Yeah.
want to go to the next topic?
Yeah. So you want to
Yeah.
do
So if you are a Giants fan, you're going to be very happy in this recent offseason. So right now we've signed 11 free agents, and it seems like this new GM and head coach are doing a really great job in let's say in look at attention to detail to all of those things that we need to be fixing. So all the free agent signings that we got was offensive guard Jamal Douglas from Washington, defensive tackle Justin Ellis from the Ravens, defensive end Jahai Wards from the Ravens, running back Matt Breida from the Bills, tight end Ricky Seals Jones from the Washington Commanders. It's so weird saying that name.
Yeah.
Quarterback Tyrod Taylor from Houston, which honestly I wish we got Trubisky, but we can talk about that later. Offensive tackle Matt Gunna from the Falcons, wide receiver Robert Foster from the Bills, interior offensive lineman Matt Golowski from the Colts, interior offensive lineman Joe Falcano from the Bills, and wide receiver / return specialist Ricky James. And like I said before, most of the players that we need are offensive linemen. And it seems like this GM
seems all over the place.
yeah, no, honestly, because the thing is that the Giants need everything.
Yeah.
So, but the main thing they need to do is get a new offensive line, which it seems like they're doing, because they basically got offensive linemen from teams that did really good last season. So basically, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Colts. It seems like so, which is really good to be honest, in my standpoint, because in a football team, if the quarterback is on his back, you'll never win a game.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones is there a lot.
Yeah, and also Daniel Jones is
I
the factor
honestly
as
have
well.
no idea why they're staying with him. I have no idea.
So
they could easily right now trade for Baker Mayfield. Easily.
but the thing is that we're still in cap danger right now. That's
that
the
is
thing.
true. Yeah.
That's the only problem. If we had the cap space, we could definitely sign him. But
Well,
as of right now,
it's a trade.
Right now, yeah, I know it's a trade. But the thing is that they'll probably learn from their mistake. I think what they're gonna do is keep Daniel Jones for one more year, because I would say this draft class isn't quarterback heavy. I don't think.
No, it's really just Matt Corral. That's it.
Yeah, well, and also Kyle Pickett.
Yeah, him too.
So, it's not really quarterback heavy. So, with that being said, I think they're gonna learn from the mistake of waiting one more year and going to the next draft whenever the 2023 draft comes in, and see who's available as quarterback, because we all know that if the Giants would have waited one more year with Eli Manning, we would have been stuck with Daniel Jones. So, and everyone was shook when we heard his name on as a sixth draft pick or first round draft pick. So,
Yep.
That's crazy. But and if you're keeping informed with all the trades that are the blockbuster trades that are going on, I would say the biggest one out of this list is Russell Wilson. I would say.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
My partner Chris, he's a Chiefs fan, so
Yep.
obviously that is not great news for him.
Red
so,
Kingdom. Yeah.
So as of right now, the the Broncos will be getting Russell Wilson, and for exchange for, and this is what Seattle's gonna get. They're gonna get Drew Luck, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, a 2022 first round draft pick, second round draft pick, fourth round draft pick, and a 2023 first round and second round draft pick.
That's a lot.
A lot. Well, it kind of makes sense because what it seems like is that the Broncos are a quarterback away from being good. I would say.
I think they'll still be third. I honestly think it's going to be Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. That's how I see it because Derek Carr, I don't think he's as good as the other three. I don't.
I wouldn't agree with you with that one. I think Derek Carr is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the Western Conference. I would say.
Yeah.
He threw for almost 400 yards in the playoffs in one game, and had like 3 or 4 touchdowns and went overtime with
but they still lost.
But because their defense is really bad. The Raiders defense is bad, so they need to fix that. So, so the contract details for Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson will be making a base salary of $19 million and a roster bonus of $5 million. He will be the 7th highest paid quarterback in the NFL behind Aaron Rodgers, which he recently got a huge contract. Deshaun Watson, which is another huge trade that he's going to the Browns.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yes, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, and Dak Prescott. So that whole list there's a really good list for quarterbacks, I would say. So, but it's surprising. And let's move on to, like we said, Aaron Rodgers.
This deal is absolutely insane. They're already in cap trouble right now.
Yeah.
And this just makes things 10 times worse.
Exactly. They went through the roof. So Aaron Rodgers becomes the highest paid quarterback in the NFL with a 4-year, $200 million contract with $153 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
So, like, Aaron Rodgers, this is a question only to you. What are you going to do with this money, man? Like, because this is insane. Like, but seriously, like, you're in a cap era system right now, and the same thing for hockey. But regardless, you like, I don't understand why football players in particular. This is what I noticed is that they say, "Oh, I want this amount of money," when their team has no cap space. It just, you know what I mean?
It makes no sense because I understand how Aaron Rodgers wants to get a new contract because as he sees there's more quarterbacks getting paid more, and he's like, I'm one of the best quarterbacks in this league. I need to get paid more than all of them, which I don't see him as the best quarterback in the league. He's one of them.
Patrick Mahomes.
But he's up there. But
Patrick Mahomes.
But so the Green Bay Packers are going to pay him $50 million on average and a signing bonus of $40.8 million.
That's insane.
Like, at this point, I don't even know what he's gonna do with all that money.
So I'll compare this. Tom Brady is making half of that.
Yeah. Well, he also got a cut salary to get a better team in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So,
which is smart.
Exactly. Like,
which is why he's won 7 championships.
Exactly. And I think Aaron Rodgers is very greedy because the next big blockbuster trade is really going to hurt the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, this is even worse.
Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers' number one receiver, is
His boy.
going to the Las Vegas Raiders.
I don't like this trade.
Yeah, another one in your conference. The Green Bay Packers will receive a 2022 first-round draft pick, which is the 22 overall, and a 2022 second-round draft pick, which is the 53rd overall. I honestly think that was I don't agree with that trade, to be honest.
I think it's stupid for the Green Bay Packers because they're going to be paying dead cap for God knows how long.
They only got two draft picks out of Devontae Adams. He's one of the best wide receivers in the league, I would say personally. And what's it called? And he's Aaron Rodgers' number one.
Yeah,
I would think that they would put him at a higher standard and probably get more than just
or just don't trade him,
because
he has good chemistry with the
Rodgers. But the thing is that the only way that Aaron Rodgers was able to get this much money is to sell Devontae Adams.
That's a shame.
They freed up a lot of.
That's a shame.
Yeah, that they freed up a lot of cap space with selling Devontae Adams, which I don't know why. But so in the details on the contract, Devontae Adams will have a signing record contract of $142.5 million over the next 5 years, with a $67.5 million guaranteed.
Wow. You're in a cap system. Why are you trying to overrun your cap space by one person making God knows how much money? It's ridiculous.
And it's stupid because if they get injured, they will still get paid that $67 million no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And then so just to give you a comparison, the average annual value of, let's say, salary is $28.5 million per year. And Devontae Adams is the highest non-quarterback in the NFL. So just to put that in perspective, that Devontae Adams is getting paid a lot of money at the Raiders, which I don't know how I feel about that because I think he would have been better at Green Bay.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And then the one that shocked the whole world and Chris's world as well, Tyree Kale is going to the Miami Dolphins. How do you feel about that, Chris?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it was literally a blindside shot for all of us because
I get why it was done, but it's greediness.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Well, yeah, because he wanted to get paid as much as Devontae Adams, as much as all these other wide receivers that I wouldn't say are better than him, but
Tyreek Hill is probably, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the league. And I think if he really wanted to win a championship, which I don't see Miami winning a championship for another 50 years, he would stay with KC.
Well, yeah. Well, he's also from there too, so
he's from Georgia.
Well, meaning like he has a house there and everything.
Yeah.
So he goes there all the time. So he has a house there and everything else. So this is the trade that they got. So the Chiefs will receive a 2022 first-round draft pick, second-round draft pick, one fourth-round draft pick in 22. And then in 2023, a fourth-round draft pick and a sixth-round draft pick.
Okay.
Now that I would agree with the trade. With only just 2 draft picks with Devontae Adams, I
would say,
to be honest,
best case scenario is that. Well, I think the trade should have included Jaden Waddle because that's their number one wide receiver right now. Mm-hmm. We kind of need that. Juju's not going to cover that.
Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster's going to the Kansas City.
All right. So I open TikTok. The first one I see is him, and I'm like, we traded him for this. What is he doing?
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, I think we should have gotten Jaden Waddle, but that's just me.
I don't know if you heard, but I remember seeing this like a tweet that Tyreek Hill posted. he said that he wants to race Jalen Waddle when he gets there. The first thing he does, he wants to race him because he's the cheetah.
Tyree Kale will win.
And he no, if honestly, it's gonna be a close race because have you seen the what's it called? Their 40s?
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill's unofficial is a 4.29.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle is only a 4.31 or something like that.
Yeah.
They're very close in numbers. So you never know. You never know which one will win.
Yeah.
So Tyreek Hill will get a 4-year contract, $20 million extension with a $72.2 million guaranteed, plus no income tax in Florida. No income tax. So that's huge. I would say. But so now it's just gonna be honestly Kelsey catching all the balls.
No, I think here's the thing. Tyreek Hill before Patrick Mahomes was an average wide receiver. I think when Juju, when the season comes over and Juju's in play, I think his value will increase with Patrick Mahomes around because Patrick knows how to throw the ball.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just going to be Tyreek. No, he's gone. I met Kelsey. they both, their names both start with T. So Travis and Tyreek. Yeah. Okay. Funny. Haha. Anyway, I don't think it's just be the Kelsey. And what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
I don't know.
Thinking about both their names start with T. But I think that the draft, that's what I was gonna say. The draft, I think we have to pick, something decent.
Yeah.
Something good.
Honestly, this draft is a wide receiver heavy, to be honest. So you never know. They might get a next Tyreek Hill. Actually, there's a guy on I forget his name.
Chris Ovule, I think his name is.
Yeah, his 40 is like basically close to Tyreek's 40. So
a buddy of mine said if the Chiefs draft Chris Ovule, they won the Super Bowl already. So
well, you never know.
Hand Patrick Mahomes and Lombardi on a golden platter.
Well, okay. You can't say that because look at John Ross. Okay.
Who?
John Ross. Exactly. Who? Exactly. His 40 was one of the his 40 is the fastest in the draft in the combine. His 40 was a 4.23 40.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're saying who? So it doesn't mean and it doesn't mean if you're fast doesn't mean that you're gonna win, let's say, a Super Bowl.
What you gotta do is it's not just speed, obviously. You gotta find, ways to get out of situations, like get out of pressure.
Yeah. And so and just to answer your who question, John Ross played for one season and I think he's gone now, but he played for the Giants for one season. So
no wonder why he left then.
Well, it was this season that he played.
Yeah, no wonder why he left.
I don't think he left. He got released.
Yeah, no wonder why.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Speed is not everything.
Yeah, we got some questions. I see the board going off.
Look at the questions and we can continue on talking. Okay, so so what's happening with Daniel Jones? Let's answer that one first.
He sucks.
Yeah, literally. I don't know. Well, as of right now, I know that he has. I don't know if I don't think he's going to surgery, but he does have a neck problem. So I don't know if he's gonna continue playing after that or like starting this next season after his neck injury because he did finish. He didn't play the last couple of games last season. So, if he does need to get surgery, it's gonna be a really bad blow for the Giants, first of all, because
Baker Mayfield.
Okay, but we don't have cap space. So
he's a homeless quarterback.
That's
selling insurance.
No, actually, that was actually going to talk about that after, but what's it called? It's related to that. Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns, they don't want to release him.
Wait, what?
They don't want to release him. They don't want to they want to keep Baker Mayfield.
How is that going to work?
I don't know. I remember reading on the news that they were saying that the Browns aren't gonna accept Baker Mayfield's request of being traded.
Okay. This team's organization, just because all right, his non-dominant arm was broken most of the season. He had
torn muscle.
Yeah, he had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The guy had obviously had some issues this season.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how the organization treats him. They trade for another big quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They do all this nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just sitting there like, what's going to happen to me?
Exactly.
Because he brought this team to, now I'm not personally a Browns fan.
Okay.
But I have sympathy for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, my Islanders went through the same exact thing. Not for as long, but,
Yeah.
They went to the playoff for the first time in 25 years with Baker Mayfield, and this is how they reward him.
Exactly.
And sure, he didn't have a great season, and his results didn't pan out this season. But you got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
He had an injury all season. He had COVID, and it is what it is. And it's a shame that the organizations treat him this way.
Exactly. I was shocked when I was reading that story that Cleveland doesn't want to accept his request of being traded, which doesn't make sense because if you're getting Deshaun Watson, which we're going to talk about that next, there's no point having two elite quarterbacks in the same team. Because,
like what are they gonna play 2 quarters each of each game? Like,
I don't know.
what?
I don't understand what the Browns are thinking because they can get a lot of money for Baker Mayfield.
I think I know what they're
and they could.
I think they're trying to just. This is gonna sound absolutely insane.
What do you think they're gonna do?
But I think they're trying to keep Mayfield off the field this season to make him look bad. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if the Browns are that type of team like that. But
I don't know.
I highly doubt it, to be honest. They wouldn't treat. I don't. Well, that's just me. But
I don't think an
they're gonna
organization would treat a quarterback that way. But
exactly. Well, hopefully not.
Maybe
you never know.
Maybe he might take off this season and sell Progressive Insurance. Who knows?
Exactly, at his house.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't think Browns are like that. But you know how owners are. They are kind of crazy, but you never know. But let's continue going to the questions.
We gotta roll through this a little bit.
Let's see. Any predictions on Tom Brady?
All right, I know what that question's about. So apparently there's a rumor going around that he's going to get traded to the Miami Dolphins.
Really?
Right?
What the heck?
Yeah, right? So I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to stay in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I honestly don't think he's going to Miami. They already have a quarterback in Miami, Tua.
Yeah.
He's doing okay, but
he can't throw past 20 yards.
Yeah, to be honest. But I honestly don't think they're gonna. Tom Brady's gonna go to Miami. He's perfectly comfortable at Tampa. He already won a ring in Tampa. His first season there. So I really don't think he's going to Miami. So
yeah,
that's just my thinking. So
all right, but we gotta talk
yeah
about this last topic quickly.
Yeah. I think that's it. And then we can continue.
All right. So quickly, MLB news. Baseball is back officially. Spring training is back in full swing. It started last week. Twins versus Red Sox. Red Sox destroyed the Twins 14-1. So the new CBA, what they came up with. Let's see. So universal DH for both the NL and the AL. Minimum salaries increased over time to $720,000 in 2023, increased by $20,000 over the next 5 years, which is when the new CBA is expiring. The new 12-team playoff format. The man on second is back.
What?
Yeah, even with fan dismay to the rule, which both of us, we don't like that.
That's stupid.
The Ohtani rule. So basically, for an example. If Ohtani's pitching that day, he's also batting. If Ohtani's in the field that day, he's also batting as well.
So universal DH.
Yeah. So luxury tax increased to $30 million, and increasing around $3 million each season. It varies, but it's around $3 million each season. The MLB for the first top since 6 draft picks will be a lottery, and this is
Okay.
hoping to curb teams from tanking, like the Orioles or the Diamondbacks from tanking. And as previously mentioned, the CBA will last 5 seasons. All right, so last night, you want to?
Yeah, so last night, I don't know if you guys watched or not, but this was a huge game, Mexico versus the US in the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. Um, I would say so. The thing is that both Mexico and the US have a long history. It's a huge rivalry between both of those countries, and especially where they played is a really tough arena or a stadium. They played at the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, and not only is it a tough place to play, its altitude is 7,382 feet above sea level, but also it's the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically their second man. If you heard, you couldn't really hear it in this past game because they had a capacity limit of 50,000. But when it's only 50,000, but their whole capacity, that stadium can hold 100,000 people.
Wow.
So if all 100,000 people had the football horns, it sounds like a beehive.
Whew.
So imagine that sound.
Imagine living next door to that.
So doing that or being part of that, let's say, situation is definitely hard when you're playing away. So, like I said yesterday, the U.S. men's national team played against Mexico in the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. Everyone, what's it called? Everyone knows that Mexico plays in Mexico City, and the altitude is 7,382 feet. So the game was evenly matched. I would say I watched it. It was pretty evenly matched. It was ended up as tied 0-0. Mexico had 11 shots on goal, and the U.S. had 9 shots on in total. Out of the 11 shots, Mexico had 2, and the U.S. had 4. The only difference was that Mexico had more possession. They had 63%, and 467 total passes. And the US and Mexico tied obviously in the game. Both of them have 22 points now, and they're both on track in making the World Cup. So, but let's just look at a couple more questions because I think there is a baseball question on here. What's up with the Yankees and the Mets?
What about them?
Well, first, what about the Mets? What's it called? Have you recently seen any of the preseason games?
Yeah, I saw one of them.
How are they doing?
They're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Their prospects are looking good.
Yeah.
Francisco Alvarez looks pretty good. Bright Beatty looks pretty good.
Nice.
Lindor looks better. Max Scherzer played pretty well last time around.
Okay.
The pitching, yeah, I know that's going to be a weak point for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully the trade deadline will fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see any major flaws yet.
Yeah, is the great answer.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And the Yankees, I heard they're not doing so hot
They're
yet.
they're doing okay. They recently just traded Luke Voigt, so
yeah, he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah. So that's definitely a big thing. But anyway, I think this is end for us.
Yep.
Thank you so much for you tuning in. As always, we're at the same time at 1 to 2 p.m. on Fridays. Thank you for tuning in again, and hope you have a wonderful weekend.
See you soon, folks.